Brian is back to help us answer some questions that came into the Cityline viewer inbox. Brian, first up is Anne, who needs some help with her entryway. Let's take a look.
Hi Brian, my name is Anne and I live in Niagara-on-the-Lake with my husband Dave. We live in a 6-year-old bungalow that we moved into last June. We've done a fair amount of decorating and renovating, but we'd really like to have your ideas and suggestions on what to do with our foyer front entrance. There are 10-foot ceilings and some empty walls that we're not quite sure what to do with. So over here we have a knee wall, I guess you call it, with a large ledge, and behind it a tall wall. And then when you first walk into the front entrance, what you see is this tall wall going down to the basement. So what we would like to know from you is what you think we should do to make it look more inviting and polished.
It's a good palette to work with, though. Thank you for that, Anne. And Brian, what advice would you give Anne in this space?
Well, that house is pretty good. So I would say that she's really there when it comes to it. But those walls, you know, it's very common, not just in a bungalow where it's going down to the lower level, but the same thing when you have a staircase going to the upper level. You have this oversized wall. So what I would do is, when you walk straight in, I would do a series of images in the same frame, do a grid of maybe 9 images, 6 or 9, depending on the size, all either in the same coloring or maybe black and white. Black and white would look really good in that space because of the door, front door being black and the white trim and things like that. And then on this wall, I would do almost that same size in one big piece. Again, relating in image and coloring to that. Obviously, it doesn't have to be exactly the same, but relate to each other. It would be too much if you did the grid here and the grid here. And I think it'd be a little overwhelming if you did 2 big pieces. But do that grid because graphically, I think it'd be quite interesting. You could even do that in black and white photography, like family photos and things like that. In photography, I think that would be really nice also.
It's always nice to personalize a space. I think that's, you know, always a great suggestion. And then your home feels like yours. We have another question, this time from Lise.
Hi Brian, I have a little dilemma in my living room. It's a 10 by 12 living room, and I'm looking for a rug that will go with this pattern that I have on my 2 chairs. Any suggestions from you would be greatly appreciated. I'd love to have it like in a cream color and low pile.
Okay, Brian, what would you suggest considering the bold chairs in that space?
Well, the chairs are actually quite beautiful. The fabric is wonderful. So what I would do is, and 9 by 12 is the standard carpet. So you could do either a very, very faded pattern, even a very faded traditional pattern. I would probably go more towards a geometric, like a cut and loop. I'll show you a piece of that. But if you really want to pull the color out of that fabric and be a little more adventurous, I would get into this coloring. I would just do maybe a solid carpet. It could be just like feel silky or textured into that palette and bring that color out of the chairs. Now, you can either buy a pre-made area carpet like that, or you can buy broadloom. So you can buy broadloom off the roll, whether it's that color or a texture. And what we do is we buy the broadloom and then just cut it to fit. So there are wonderful textures. This is what I was talking about a monochromatic texture or things like this. And I love these grids. So there's a lot of fun you can have with just simple broadloom cut to size, especially for rooms that are odd shapes.
Ooh, that's nice. The red is very on trend right now, that beetroot color. Absolutely. The other thing is broadloom is, tell me if I'm wrong, an inexpensive option. So it's smart to do that and then just customize it, right?
Absolutely. It's much less expensive, though area rugs are coming in all different prices now. So you can get area rugs, you know, solids and patterns for very, very affordable prices today. But absolutely, broadloom is the easiest way to do it. Just with a simple binding, you can just serge the edge. And it's really great for spaces that are awkward sizes because I like all the furniture to sit on the rug. So that if you need a very big, oversized one, sometimes broadloom or an odd-shaped room, broadloom is the best solution. Cut to fit.
Very good. Okay, thank you so much for that incredible advice, Brian, and great ideas for Anne and for Lise. Now, if any of our viewers watching want advice from the Brian Gluckstein for their homes, you can get it. Email in your questions to submissions@cityline.tv, or you can scan this QR code right on your screen. Just remember to include pictures. Even better, take a video. It's a great way for us to see your space, and we can really understand your space and the dimensions and the colors and the light, and then you can really get the help that you need. And it doesn't just need to be decor questions. Send in any question for any of our experts. We love to help. That's why we're